Hello, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, the host of Conversations with Cyrus Webb, right here on All Nations TV. I'm really excited about this new partnership with All Nations, and what I hope we're able to do every week is bring you all conversations that are not only inspiring, motivational, but also will encourage you as you're going throughout your lives. We're beginning a brand new year here in 2014, and what better way than to really be able to decide for yourself what you want out of life, and more importantly, what God wants for you as you're going from day to day. We know that it's not easy to live up to a resolution all the time, but we can all be able to promise ourselves that each and every day we're going to put our best self forward. And in doing that, we definitely will be able to set an example for others as to what's possible. Our first guest in this series we're going to be doing during the month of January is John Henderson. John is someone I met through a post by motivational speaker Eric Thomas on Facebook. He was sharing his story about how he was able to lose not only over 100 pounds, but also how he's been inspired and encouraged to do all that he can to be his best self. He realized that when you want to succeed, there's nothing like putting your best self forward, and that's exactly what John is doing in his life. In his very first radio interview ever, he talked exclusively with me about the journey, about the decision to share it publicly, and also what he hopes you're able to take away from it. Here is our conversation. Afterwards, I'll be telling you more about the individuals we'll be featuring this month right here on All Nations.
Where we bring you the best in music, books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us. Now, here is your host, Cyrus Webb.
And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conversations Live, where we connect you with the artists and authors you love, who bring you the music and books you can't get enough of. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, as you guys know, all this year we have really tried to not only inspire you, but also empower you through the individuals that we've been able to feature, both on the radio side as well as online. And what I hope has happened over this year is that you've been able to find a story or an individual that you've been able to resonate with, and that you can kind of use as fuel in your own life. Our next guest is someone that is not only inspiring, but I believe his story is one that will definitely help to encourage you as you're heading into 2014. I actually was introduced to John Henderson when I was reading some posts on another page on Facebook by an individual that's a big motivator for a lot of people, Eric Thomas. John's story was so powerful for me, I reached out to him, as I'm known to do, invited him to come on the show and to share it, and he accepted the invitation. So John Henderson is joining us today for the first time. John, hello to you, and welcome to Conversations Live.
Thank you, Cyrus. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, and I really do. I'm not exaggerating when I say that I believe your story is really going to inspire people, because it just in reading it inspired me. So let me do this. Let me share with our listeners here the post that you have posted, as I mentioned, on Eric Thomas's page, who is, as I said, a motivator for a lot of people. I want to read that post and then talk to you about why you decided to share it, okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is what you posted. In January, I weighed 450 pounds and hated myself because I let myself go so bad and stopped caring. On January 14th, I had an epiphany. Either continue in life being a miserable person or become a better person or father. To become successful within myself is what I needed all along. I found your YouTube channel and a video about what it takes to be successful, about wanting success as much as you want to breathe, man. Did that resonate with me? Even through E.T., you in Michigan, it soaked in. I listened to that every day for the first month of my journey to keep me going. Almost a year later, I weigh 331 pounds and feel like a new person. Don't know if you can tell a difference in the pic or not. Thank you, E.T. The work you do, the message you spread by our positivity, it has helped me tremendously. And those TGIM vids are the bomb. Thanks for everything. And I read that, John, and I thought, wow, what a great testament to not only the work that E.T. or Eric Thomas is doing, but also for yourself. When you hear that being read and when you look at those pictures that you posted from December 2012 to December of this year, you know, what has it been like for you to share that experience with the world?
To be honest with you, it's like a weight being lifted off my shoulders. I'm just, all the challenges I've been through over the year, all the goals that I've accomplished. Now I'm at a point in my life where I am a very happy person. I'm happy with myself, And I want to be able to inspire other people, maybe that were in my position, that's sitting in their bedroom looking on YouTube or looking on the internet, looking for a spark to get them going on their own journey.
Right. Well, I think you're definitely accomplishing that. And again, you posted this on Eric Thomas's page, and other people commented on it, as did I, because it was so powerful. What was it that initially led you to Eric's videos? I mean, how did you first hear about him initially, John? Do you remember?
Actually, I was sitting in my room one day, like I have many times before, looking on YouTube, and I've always, contemplating about wanting to make changes, and I had found his video, and I watched it, and then next thing you know, I'm watching it over and over, and it just got me thinking about my life and, how unhappy I was, and how unhappy I was with myself, and just kind of, if I don't make changes, I'm going to be in the same trail the rest of my life, and I'm so thankful that I found that video, because its words are so true.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
And the message of the video is, wanting success as much as you want to breathe, and until you want success that bad, you're never going to be any more than you are, and that's what I had to realize for myself.
Well, I have to admit, I had not seen the video before, so I had to go on YouTube and to be able to find it. And the story that Eric tells there, is about a man who is trying to figure out what does it take. And the lesson that was told by this man who is kind of led out in the water and held down is exactly what you just shared. So, when you reflected on your life, and again, the pictures that we're able to see are a picture from just last year, December 2012.
That's right. I lost the photo.
Yeah, and so when you look at that picture on the left, the picture that you posted, when you look at that guy, do you see someone that at that point really was at a place where they could love themselves?
Yeah, I mean, I look at that person and I can see just the miserable, just the antagonizing pain in that photo. I mean, that person that was me, it's not who I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And the person that I am today, the person I am becoming, that's who I want to be.
Yeah.
And just to see that photo and see the difference, it's kind of another shot to, another notch in the belt of all the success that I've had over the course of the year, and that is very reassuring.
Yeah. And now when we look at the man on the right-hand side, for those who are looking at it either on our website or even looking at it on our Facebook page that we posted, John, definitely more focused, I think. Do you think that you're now living more in the moment, that you're realizing the importance of right now as you're going through life?
Yeah, that is very true. I've always lived just to live. Now I live just to live by my means, not just to mosey on through. As Eric Thomas says, be allergic to average. I won't. I'll turn 30. I just turned 30 in September. My little girl just turned 7, and I kind of had an epiphany that I'm 450 pounds, and 10 years I'm going to be 40 years old. How many old obese people do you see? And in 10 years, my daughter will be 17. She'll be getting close to graduating high school. If I don't do something, I'm not going to see her grow up. I'm not going to see her enjoy her life, nor am I going to enjoy my life with her.
Right. Exactly, and I think that those are the things we have to start to focus on. For those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. John Henderson is our guest. We're talking to him not only about what is it that kind of sparked him to begin to really look at his life differently, but also to really motivate him to action. Now, this all began with words by Eric Thomas, John, but I think you would agree that even at this point, ironically, now you are a person that people can look to as an inspiration. What has it been like for you to switch roles? You've gone from someone who was seeking, your own path to now you're helping other people to discover theirs.
It's a little bit awkward, to be honest with you, Cyrus. I've always been the person. I've always looked for advice or looked for answers. And then now that I've reached a place that I'm happy with myself, I know there's people out there that was in the position I was in, that's looking for, somebody to, been through what they've been through, or somebody that has felt what they feel, that knows, the rough road that they're on. And now that I'm happy with myself, I want to inspire people. I want to help people, because I know there's people that need to be helped or that want help or that just can't find help. I want to be be another avenue or another channel where I can inspire someone to make changes within themselves and to help them realize. And it's not hard to make a change. Once you believe, start believing in yourself and you start making little changes, eventually, it's a snowball effect. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Next thing you know, like, man, it's a year later, I've lost 130 pounds. That's man, where has the time went? And other than you mentioned the photo I mentioned I was down to 321 pounds. Well, since that post, I'm now down to 319. So
wow.
Just keeping the momentum going. And wanting success as much as you want to breathe. I know I got tired of living my life and just being a person that's just breathing. I want to be a person that's out living and not just breathing.
You mentioned something else even in this conversation, John, and that there's also, you mentioned it on the post on Eric Thomas's website, and that was about not only your being a better person, but you specified being a better father. How has that helped to inspire you? Because I think for everybody, we all have our own stimuli. And for people, who have children that are in their lives, I can only imagine that has to be something, even as you shared here, her being 7 now and 10 years being 17, that you want to be here for that. How has she kind of helped you, even at times when you thought you couldn't go any farther?
I mean, just his words is so inspiring. He's got so many videos. Whenever I was 450 pounds, playing with my daughter was very minimal. I could barely move. As a child, when I was growing up, my dad was always active with me. We always outside playing basketball. He was always doing stuff with us, taking us to football practices. And I've, kind of looked at the past few years of my life. I wasn't doing much with my daughter, and that that hurt real deep. That hurt so bad. Just to be able not to be able to run around outside with her. And now that I'm able to be more interactive with her, do more stuff with her, it's it's just going to help our relationship grow, and hopefully be a role model for her, because I didn't want her, me as a 450-pound man, to be my little girl's role model. I didn't think I was sufficient enough to be a role model to her.
Yeah. I think it goes without saying that you could have gone throughout this journey, John, and not told anybody online about what has happened to you, or what Eric's advice and motivation has done for you. Why did you decide to make that post that day? Why was that important for you to let not only Eric know that you appreciate him, but also to share a part of your story? Why was that important?
Well, over this last 7 months, my buddy, my trainer, Tony, he has, just helped me not only get physically stronger, but with getting physically stronger, I've gotten a lot mentally stronger. And I've seen success in myself just getting up and moving. And so, I thought, man, I've lost 100 pounds. It's like, I've lost 100 pounds, now what else can I do? And so I wanted to put myself out there. I wanted people to see my progress. I posted pictures on Facebook of my weight, just, my weigh-ins, just so that my friends and family can see my progress, and that, maybe hold me accountable to say, hey, John, you haven't posted a weigh in a while. What's going on? And, I wanted to, maybe somebody could see my weigh-ins or see my progress and be like, man, this guy, if he could go from sitting in his room playing video games all day long and just eating like a crazy fool. If he can go from doing that to getting up and moving a little bit, next thing you know, he's lost 130 pounds. If he can do that, I can do that. And that's why I put myself out there to hopefully maybe, you saw my post, maybe some guy that's somewhere that's in the same position he sees that and that inspires him to make a change in his life or reach out to me and let me help him make a change.
Right. And those pictures are inspiring. Our listeners joining us online are actually seeing some of the pictures of your transition, John, which I think is so powerful for you to be able to do. You just said something, too, that I have really come to appreciate this year especially, and that is, others holding us accountable. And I think that is so important, for if you're going to, to talk the talk, the importance of walking the walk, and to know that by making it so public that people are, able to do just that. Now, I want to go back to, to the pitfalls because just like I know, and I was sharing this with a friend of mine today actually, that, at the beginning of every year, a lot of people make New Year's resolutions. They talk about what they want to do, and then by February sometimes or March or April, something happens, they fall off, whatever that is. For a lot of people it is weight, and they say, well, you know what, I just can't do it. I just can't. What has kept you from giving into that? Because it's very easy to say, you know what, I tried, but I just cannot do it. What kept you from letting that be your story?
Yeah, it's so funny that you mentioned that, Cyrus, because previous years I have been guilty of that as well. Many years. All right, this is the year I'm going to make a change. And then I do it for a few weeks, and then, come June or July, I'm like, man, if I would have stuck with that, here I would be halfway through the year by now. And I think what made this past year different than other years is I was in a position where my integrity was just so gone, and I had no self-esteem. So I was like, well, I'm going to make a change. So I quit drinking soda. And then I was like, all right, I quit drinking soda. I'm going to make another small change. I'm going to get up and clean my room, clean house more often. And I'm going to walk a little bit a day. And the next thing you know, I kept making these small promises to myself, and I kept keeping them. And the next thing you know, a 5-minute walk become a 20-minute walk, a 20-minute walk become a 40-minute walk. And I just kept building my integrity, keeping small promises to myself. And then over the course of a few weeks, a month goes by, and I see my results. And yeah, during the first couple of months, you're going to be sore, and you don't want to keep on. And then I found a post of the road. This journey is going to be long and hard, but at the end, it is so worth it. I promise you. And words like that just it just resonated with me to help me keep going. And seeing the overall result, but not the small results, the quick results that you want, but just seeing, hey, 5 years down the road, I'm going to be such a happier person. I never knew that a year down the road I was going to be a happier person. I imagine a couple of years, but just to keep those small promises, whether it's something so minimum to everybody else, but it's so big to you. Once you keep those small promises that are big to you, the rest of it will fall in line.
There you go. What you just said reminded me of someone who we partnered with on this program this year, John. His name is Brandon Nicholson. He's a fitness trainer as well as a celebrity model. And one of the things that he said to me on this program, and we have kind of talked about it throughout the year since because it was so powerful, he said we all need to discover our why. Why it is that we want to be able to do what we want to do, not what other people think, but what it is for us. What is that why for you? And for you, as you've been able to share here, John, it really has been wanting to be better for yourself, wanting to be better for your daughter. And I think, to be able to put that into words, to put it, in action, I think is really the beginning. So for individuals that are listening to this conversation that are trying to figure out their why, they know what they say they want to do, but they're trying to figure out, why they want it. What do you say to them about the importance of just starting? Because it looks like that's where it all began for you, making the decision to start.
My friend, my trainer, Tony, had put this great post on his Facebook page that says, "The man that got off the couch is making more progress than the man that stayed on the couch." And that can never be so true. I mean, just getting up, I mean, you can walk 5 minutes a day while you're watching TV, and that would make a difference. You know, I've tried previous times to lose weight, and I would try to find a reason why to lose weight, whether it be for, you know, my daughter or for just to make myself more presentable. But I never really dug into the why you need to do it just for yourself. Until you do it for yourself, it doesn't matter who you do it for. You can please other people all you want, but until you please yourself, you're not going to be as happy as you would be just making sure you're the reason why.
That is so true, and I think that is it. That's it right there, John. I think, you know, doing it for yourself, loving yourself enough to not being able to settle. I think we talk about that a lot in relationships, but we really don't need to settle even for ourselves when it comes to ourselves and what we can do. And I think just your example, I mean, as you're sharing here, you know, from the time you posted that picture, you know, to be down almost another 20 pounds from there, I mean, I think, you know, says so much about the importance and the power that comes from, you know, from discovering your why, setting the goals, and then working toward those goals. Again, everyone, John Henderson has been our guest. John, this is powerful, man. What you have been able to do, I know it was Eric that inspired you, but now just by sharing your story, you're going to inspire so many other people, I think. So now you're going to be that guy, you know, that people can kind of look to. Let our listeners know, do you have, I know you have a YouTube channel. Where's the best place for them to go to be able to find you, John?
My YouTube channel is this is a moniker I've had since high school, is the Fat Daddy, D-A, one word, the second word, P-H-A-T-D-A-D-D-Y. I made a little video about the beginning of my progress. A good friend, my trainer, Tony, has become a real good friend of mine. He has helped me a lot and has shown me an avenue that I've never thought I would travel down before. And with his help, I'm now studying to get my personal training certification. That way I can be certified to help other people that was in my position, not only mentally, but I could, you know, physically help them. And that's where I'm looking to go.
So that's great, man. I mean, being able to pay it forward, I think, is one of the great things about it. Again, everyone, John Henderson has been our guest. I mean, really an important story, I think, for all of us, John. I know you're going to be one of those guys. I'm sure in 2014 you're going to have a Facebook fan page where people can be able to read your inspirational messages. I mean, because I think it's necessary. I think it's one of those things that people need, I mean, to know that people just like them are doing amazing things, and that's what you've been able to do. You've inspired me, John, and I know you're going to inspire other people as well. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it, and I hope you'll come back next year to keep us posted on your progress.
Cyrus, thank you so much for having me. I would love to come back. 2014, I have big plans for 2014. I have bigger plans than I had this year. 2014 is going to be a great year. This year has been awesome. 2014 is going to be even better. And hopefully other people can hear my story and or see my video. And you know, and I lost all that weight working at Pizza Hut, nonetheless. So I don't want to hear no excuses, okay? If you make a change, you can start small, and then it works its way up to be a big thing. And I'm a testament of that. But Cyrus, thank you so much. I appreciate everything. Thank you for having me on, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. You didn't have to do this. Is this your first radio interview, John?
Yeah. I'm nervous, man. I've been nervous.
Well, you know what? Hey, you know what? You did great. You did great, and I'm so glad that we could have this experience with you. We're going to be sharing this, of course, through our various platforms, John. And, John, again, congratulations to you, man, and here's to a great 2014 for you.
story, John, is when it comes to not only making a decision, but also being able to live up to that decision in each and everything that you do. I hope that you were inspired by that and what John was able to do, not only the amount of weight that he lost, but the confidence and faith that he gained along the way. And I think that is a great thing for all of us. And that's what we want you all to do as you're heading into 2014, to be able to realize the possibilities out there. It's not just for other people. God wants the same thing for you in your life, but it really begins with taking the steps necessary to be able to reach it. What I want also you all to be able to take away from this series throughout the month of January is that it really matters, not really who you are, no matter what race you are, where you live in the world. I'm broadcasting here from Mississippi, where we have the highest rate of obesity, but it doesn't mean that we have to be able to, stay in that, as well as claim that for ourselves, that each of us, no matter who we are, have the ability for greatness. Next week, you guys are going to be hearing from Tamara Jackson. Tamara is another inspiring story. She wrote a book called 265 Point. And 265 was actually her weight at one time, where she was able to get to a place in her life, a point in her life where she realized that she deserved more, God wanted more for her, and she began to be able to take action in her life. She shares in her book 265 Point how she was able to do it, and also what we all can do to be able to come to a point in our lives when we realize enough is enough with the status quo, that we want to go above and beyond. So I hope you'll stay tuned for next week when I speak with Tamara Jackson right here on Conversations with Cyrus Webb on All Nations TV. Now, if you'd like to stay in contact with me and all the great things that we have going on with Conversations, you can find me personally on my website at www.cyruswebbpresents.com. That's www.cyruswebbpresents.com. Also, of course, with the radio show and the online television show as well, you can find us at www.conversationsliveradio.com. That's conversationsliveradio.com. That will tell you who each and every day we're talking to on the airways, and also other inspiring stories that we're sharing. Thank you all for watching this edition of Conversations with Cyrus Webb on All Nations TV. We'll be back with you all next week. As I like to always say, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music, and of course, my favorite, a great book. Thank you all for watching Conversations with Cyrus Webb. You all make it a great day.
Is your hope fading fast? Do you feel like it is gone? Failing hope can be awakened, and you have the key. In Linda C. Newberry's book, Say What You Say Is Your Future, she outlines not only the whys of biblical confession, but she gives you a modern-day affirmation that changed her life, and with use will change yours too. Available in paperback and Kindle on Amazon.com and on her website at www.lindacnewberry.com.